Are you confused by the vast range of items added, removed, and adjusted from this game? Don't know how or where to use these items for maximum utility after all the changes Moonton made to them? Then this is the only video that you will need. It covers all the removed, added, and adjusted items in the game in recent times, along with some tips and tricks in under 15 minutes. Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video we will cover all the newly added and removed items in Mlbb. Let's start this video with the equipment which got adjusted or revamped. Brute Force and Vortex. With the recent release of patch note 1.8.44, the Vortex and Brute Force breastplate combo has taken Mlbb by storm. Let's talk about them in detail. After purchasing it, each second after dealing damage, you will get 6 extra physical attack and magic power and 2% extra movement speed for 4 seconds up to 6 ticks. And the passive of Vortex grants 12 extra physical attacks and 2% extra spell vamp per second for 4 seconds up to 6 ticks. Now you can imagine how compatible these two items are for each other. This powerful combination increases damage output, spell vamp and movement speed, making it a popular choice for many lane fighters and some jungle tank heroes. To sum it up, every second after dealing damage, you get 18 extra physical attacks and 6 extra magic powers, along with the 2 extra movement speed and spell vamp. So guys, you just need to use this pairing. Just make sure to use it with fighters and assassins, since the passive effect of Vortex is reduced to 50% for marksmen, mages and supports. The heroes I would recommend this item to are Barret, Slapulapu, Vices, Xbog and Balmond. And next we have Huskclaws. It was patch 1.8.08 when Moonton decided to remove the item called Scarlet Phantom, or so that we all thought. But instead they merged it with another item which was Huskclaw. Hence the new revamped Huskclaw was born. It grants 20% plus crit chance along with the attack speed, making it a core item for heroes who deal crit damage. It also provides 25% lifesteal, which is way better compared to its previous version, which gives only 15% after HP is below 50%. The new Huskclaw along with Berserker and Windtalker can give you results like this. Example of heroes who uses this item are Bruno, Olus, Argus, Moscow, Ling and so on. Next on the list, we have all the items which has been adjusted in the same patch, which is patch 1.7.68. Let's go through them one by one. First we have Necklace of Durance. It used to get plus 10% magic lifesteal, which got removed. And in replacement we got the passive which regens 20% HP and mana within 2 seconds of leveling up. As you can see here, I'm getting health and mana itself. At first glance, it sounds nice, but the real issue is most of the mages make this item at late game, where most of the time you won't get much benefit from it, as your level will already be pretty high. So in an average game, if you make this item in the late game, you will benefit from this passive 2 to 3 times. It is a great passive in my opinion, but is a waste to putting it with Necklace of Durance. Still, it is a good item against heroes who have high lifesteal, regen or shield. Next item we have Sea Harbor. After the patch, it increases damage by 8% against enemy heroes who have higher additional HP. This makes it a perfect item for heroes who uses Demon Hunter Sword in their build. Make it with Trinity and watch the enemy tank melting. Next up we have Twilight Armor. It used to give magic damage equal to 35 plus 5% of the hero's extra HP by basic attack after 1.5 seconds. So according to its new passive, when taking more than 600 damage in a single hit, the excess amount will be reduced, which makes it a really good option against single burst physical damage. Here you can see my damage exceeded way more than 600. And now it has been reduced. Remember guys, the new Twilight Armor's passive also reduces the turret shot damage, which is really helpful when turret diving. You can use this item against heroes like Aldous, Leslie, Dyroth and other single high burst damage heroes. Rose Gold Meteor. It used to grant physical damage and magic resistance to the wielder. making it a go-to item for marksmen or physical damage assassins who want to counter burst mages. However, it has largely been ignored by players in both ranked and pro players. Instead, most opt for Athena's shield. With the latest patch, however, this overlooked item finally have a chance to shine and change the meta, replacing the 25 magic defense when HP drops below 30%. The most significant change is the 50% boost in movement speed. This item now provides players with a movement speed boost that can be used to escape or fight back. Additionally, the shield buff helps players survive the initial onslaught, making it a go-to item for marksmen and physical assassins. Blood Wings. It gains a shield equal to 200% magic power. The shield will regenerate 20 seconds after being damaged and grants 30 movement speed while it lasts. It is good to purchase alongside with Holy Crystal and Oracle as it provides considerable amount of magic power. Additionally, buying Blood Wings alongside Oracle increases shield by 30%. That's why it is recommended to buy it as a last item. Blood Wings is an excellent item for magic users who need that extra bit of durability to not get one-shot by the assassins. Next on the list, we have Thunderbolt. There aren't many changes to this item except the building cost, which is now lower. The building cost is now 1990 from 2290. Cloak of Destiny. The item got nerfed. The HP you get from it is now 500 instead of 625 like the previous one. Not only that, each sticks now only grants 20 HP instead of the previous 25. Ice Queen Wand. Again, not many changes except the nerf of its slow effects and mana recovery. It also gives 300 plus HP, giving you that little bit of durability. The passive of this item is unchanged, perfect for heroes who deal continuous damage over time, such as Lilia, Eve and Alice. Fleeting Time. The new effect has been added. According to it, certain heroes with ultimates that enter cooldown after their duration is over now also gain cooldown reduction from kills and assists during their ultimate's duration. So what does that mean? Heroes who don't get cooldown of their skill immediately after using their ultimate, you can make this item with Kadita, Angela and Atlas. Dominance Ice. If you have been playing tank heroes in Mlbb, Dominance Ice is usually the first item for you. Now after the new passive revamp, it became even more important to make this item. Its new passive now reduces the attack speed of surrounding heroes, making it an important item against basic attack marksmen. So sum it up, this item is important against heroes who has lifesteal and regen as well as a marksman who uses basic attack. Now let's hop into the newly added items. Great Dragon Spear. On the 8th of August 2023, the same day when Scarlet Phantom got removed, there was a glimpse of a new item called Great Dragon Spear. This was the item specifically made for heroes who need crit and cooldown reduction but don't need attack speed, such as Zilong, Alucard and Irithel. You can see that this item goes really well with Husklow, Berserkers and Windtalker. Its passive gives you extra 15% movement speed after casting an ultimate. Here you can see the comparison. The difference is pretty significant, don't you think? Flask of the Oasis. Since the release of this item, the support meta has bloomed drastically. Heroes like Angela and Matilda dominate the banned list. Why? Let's take a look at this passive. After casting a healing or shield skill, if the target's HP falls below 35% within 5 seconds, they will gain a 100 to 1500 shield that lasts 3 seconds. When this wig triggers, it also reduces the cooldown of the caster's skills by 2 seconds. As you can see how beneficial this item is for support, as providing shields and healing allies is their primary job. So recommended heroes for this item are Minotaur, Estes, Angela and Rafaela. Just make sure to pick a tanky jungler or EXP laner if you have a support in your team to absorb those pew pew. Stallium Scythe. Stallium Scythe was added to the game as a better replacement for Calamity Reaper and Shadow Twin Blade. Is an excellent item for mages or magic based heroes who use their skills very often, as its passive gives extra 2 damage and movement speed. You can use this item with heroes like Gushan, Guinevere and Ben. Just make sure to use basic attack after every skill to utilize that juicy 2 damage and movement speed. And now at last we have the removed items. Calamity Reaper was one of the OGs from the game. This was the main core item for some of the assassins like Gusion, Karina and Selena. As for why it was removed, there aren't any official statements from Moontoon as to why this was removed, but we can guess. As far as I can figure it out, even though I gave you plenty of examples of heroes who can use this item, but compared to the vast number of heroes this game has, this number is negligible. At that time, we had somewhere like 30 primary mages and 2 primary assassins who can deal magic damage, but among them, only 4 to 6 heroes uses Calamity Reaper as their main item. This number is ridiculous compared to these items which is used by almost every magic users. There are not many cases where Calamity is used, so they just removed it. Even though we are treating it like it got removed, but in reality it got a revamp as an item called Stallium Side. At 8th of August 2023, Moontoon has dropped a patch in original server. You can read it in details here, but in summary, Moontoon's developers have removed the item Scarlet Phantom. And this time we have the official statement around this decision. So according to Moontoon, and I quote, attack speed and attack effect builds only need 3 key pieces of equipment to get their attack speed, damage and lifesteal bonuses, while attack speed and crit builds needs 4. So they have merged the passive of Scarlet Phantom into the Harsh Claws, which means that now you can make the attack speed and crit builds in just 3 items, which is Harsh Claw, Windtalker and Berserker's Fury. Hence, they removed the items and a new item were added called Great Dragon Spear. Shadow Twin Blades. The third and final item which got removed is Shadow Twin Blade. This item is very similar to Calamity Reaper, so presumably it also got removed for the same reason. The underuses of this item and the number of heroes who need this item being so minimal made this item removed from the game. So guys, what do you think about all these item changes? Did it impact your game style and strategies? Comment down your thoughts below. That will be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.